All right, guys, today we're going to rank the sports that give you the best physique. Starting off with tennis. Tennis, I'm going to give you C tier because even though tennis demands a lot of cardio, most of these guys do not have really impressive physiques, men or women. They're kind of square. They have really good calves, not very impressive thighs, not impressive arms, but they definitely look athletic. So if you just want to look fit, then tennis is for you, but you're not going to get the aesthetic shape like broader shoulders or, cut arms, nothing like that. Next, we got cricket ball. So this one, I'm going to put at bad, but it has potential because with this sport, when you're on offense, once you hit the ball, you are literally sprinting back and forth like you're doing suicides to score points. So if you can get as many sprints in that time before you get batted out or eliminated, then sure, it's a good workout. But you have to cycle through 11 other players before you sprint again. So it's just not practical in terms of how much cardio you're putting out to get shredded or anything. For that reason, I'm putting it in the D tier. Next, we have baseball. So baseball, I'm going to put it at good because there's a lot of variety. You can have a fat ass in baseball who only comes in to hit. You don't want that physique. But then you have the outfielders who are elite and their physiques are really good. They're athletic, they can jump. They're like the sprinters. And then the infielders, like the catcher, they're all fat asses. They're like they would be like the discus throwers in track. There's too much variety in baseball, and for that reason, it's gonna be on B tier. Just because the ceiling for elite players like Shohei Ohtani or Aaron Judge, their physiques are really good, and I would not mind having a physique like that. Next is chess. It's gonna go in F tier. So actually, I'll put it in E tier. E tier is the worst because there are some sports I'm not familiar with. So chess is definitely not going to get you anything unless you're like L from Death Note who burns 6,000 calories from thinking and strategizing. Chess is not going to do anything for you. If anything, you're going to social max, become a very intelligent person, a strategizer. So maybe your brain will make gains, but your body is just going to be fat, stagnant, or you can get skinny, like I said, if you are burning so many calories and playing a lot of chess. Yeah, unless you're playing a lot of chess, like hours and hours and competing, then you're not going to get any good returns from chess. And if anything, if you burn a lot of calories from chess, you're not going to shape into an athletic body. You're just going to look slim. For that reason, it's at the bottom. Basketball, I'm going to put at A tier because with basketball, you have to be at a certain level of physical fitness to compete at an elite level. And when I competed in basketball, I was very lean. I wasn't shaped at all, but I was lean. I had good cardio, so I was never fat. And by default, you cannot be fat in the NBA if you want to be a good player. And like we have Nikola Jokic, who looks fat, but he's just a wide guy, and he's not like rookie year fat. And you got to be a certain level of conditioning to play basketball at an elite level. Now, you're not going to get like jacked guys all around like Giannis Antetokounmpo. You're not going to have those physiques everywhere. You have players that look like Sengun, Nikola Jokic, Chris Paul. Like those guys do not have impressive physiques. LeBron James and Giannis, those are outliers. You're going to get like Kevin Durant physique, which is good but like not really aesthetic. And if anything, the only reason basketball players are aesthetic is because they're tall. So their frame is already to their advantage. They just got to stay slim, and basketball keeps you slim. Now, pool. I'm going to put that also in E tier unless you get really hyped up in pool, like you're sprinting after you win or do something crazy. It's going to go at the bottom. You're just focusing. It's just like chess. You're really using your brain. And if your brain's burning a lot of calories, sure, you're not going to be fat, but you're going to you can be a fat ass and be a beast at pool. So yeah, American football, NFL, S tier, guys. The cream of the crop physiques and frames. You cannot be Kevin Durant and play in the NFL. You got to be wide, tall or a combination of both, like to play in the NFL, and thick. So that's a third factor. It's kind of like wide, but look at the running backs, the safeties, all positions in the NFL. Those guys are yoked. You're not going to find a 160-pound guy unless he's a deep threat, wide receiver. He's not going to do cross routes. He's not going to run the ball. He's just going to be like a Jerry Jeudy type of player. You're not going to throw in the middle to Jerry Jeudy where it gets destroyed. No, those are just deep threats. So for NFL players, they're all jacked. Even if they look skinny, they're still jacked. So if you play American football, they're going to have you doing power cleans, sprints, jumps, backpedaling. Like, you're going to move in all ranges of movement and use your whole body. And not to mention the impact. Like, you have to put on weight to absorb the impact by default. So your body has to be a beast if you want to have a career in the NFL. Okay, so now we got, I think this is volleyball. So volleyball, I'm going to go in the, oh my gosh, I want to place it over basketball, but to be less, because like if you've ever been to college and you've seen the volleyball girls, you would say S tier. Like, all that jumping, all that lateral movement, explosive movement back to back, the diving, and then you got to do like a burpee to get back up after diving for the ball. Like, people underestimate how volleyball gets you in shape, especially if you play sand volleyball. I remember when I was playing that in the summer 5 years ago, it got me in shape hella quick. So this is definitely going to go in the A tier. I'm not going to say above basketball, but like, it's tough. Even like the front row girls who are giants, they still have to look really good. You can't have a fat ass up there because they're jumping out of their mind if you're in the front row. So it's tough. Between basketball and volleyball, they're right up there. I might put it over basketball, but whatever. Now, swimming is going to go in the S tier. And it's going to go in the S tier for a different reason. Men or women, when you do swimming, your lats are going to get wide as hell. Your shoulders are going to be much wider. Your arms are going to be lean and, strong. You're going to get that wiry strength. And your legs, your glutes, your rectus femoris, like not your quads, but the muscles above the quads that help you sprint. Those are the same muscles that help you swim really good. Even your toes and your extremities. That's the thing that swimming gets compared to all of these other sports. Like, when you swim, you have to flex your extremities, even up to your nails. And that's why when you look at a swimmer, their body has very few flaws, and they're muscular from head to toe, literally. Even their neck, like, going through all that resistance. Of course, we're not talking about Katie Ledecky 800-meter sprint or those long sprinter or long distance swimmers, but even then they look good. But if you look at the shorter sprinter swimmers, absolute beautiful physique, and usually they look good in the face too. So I'm gonna have to put swimming in S tier, and it's gonna get you ripped very quick. If you do swimming, you're gonna get ripped. All right, now we got rugby, S tier, and dang, I think I'm gonna have to put it above. You know what, guys? If you have ever watched rugby, like, those guys are so jacked. It's hard to say because with American football, you know what? I'm going to say rugby above American football because the offensive linemen and defensive linemen, but especially the offensive linemen in football, they're big as hell, but they're fat. Like, you can be a fat ass in the NFL and still succeed. You even got like the punter, the kicker, the snap holder, all those guys. So like, that deviates the physique in football. But in rugby, you're basically an NFL player, an offensive lineman who can sprint and jump. Like, have you seen those Samoan dudes? Like, there's no weak link in a rugby team. Like, everyone is jacked, everyone is fast. You're basically tackling each other without any pad protection, so you have to be thick boned. Like, if you do that sport, you're gonna have to evolve and adapt and make your body resilient to rugby, or you're not gonna make it. So rugby, definitely. Like, every rugby guy I met, yoked, thick ass neck, like, especially Samoans, crazy. Now soccer is gonna go in the Man, I'm gonna say A tier just because soccer players are like really sought after in school, especially the good ones. You get lean, you get really good calves, guys. Like you underestimate the power of calves. I don't Quads are unesthetic, hamstrings are good, but quads and the tibialis muscle, like all of those, because when you wear shorts, your quads are not seen. It's your calves. And when you see soccer players practice, especially like Asian or Pacific Islanders that play soccer, all that muscle in their calves is insane. I'm like, whoa, I would not want to get kicked by them. And you get lean as hell. You run fast. You have good performance. The only reason I would say soccer is A tier is because you don't really build an upper body, right? You're not pushing anybody like in rugby or in NFL, right? You're not pulling or pushing anybody. It's a foul. So it's not incentivized to be like absolutely yoked for soccer. And for soccer, it's more a long distance running over the course of the whole game compared to the NFL and rugby because there's no breaks in soccer. So you're not going to get absolutely thick. And if anything, you have to be like Cristiano Ronaldo, like really shredded physique with good muscle, but there's a limit to how much you should put on. Otherwise, it's going to impact your performance negatively. So for that reason, I'm going to put A tier. And also, most soccer players not in good shape. Like, go look at the Mexican Soccer League, not just European leagues. There's a lot of deviation in the professional levels, and I'm never impressed by soccer physiques, to be honest. They look good lower body, but not upper body, so I never aspired or ever aspired to look like a soccer player. And Cristiano's an outlier. He's just like a superstar athlete, not just a soccer player. Now, track, I'm actually going to move this. I'm going to put track and field sprinting. That picture there is the long distance runners. And the long distance runners are over here. So if you are a sprinter, guys, absolute S tier number one. Because when you sprint, it's literally all explosive movement. Like the rugby, you can have breaks. NFL, you can have breaks. Like if the play's not to you in the NFL, you don't got to sprint. You just got to like kind of fake it. But whenever you compete in the track, there's literally no breaks. You have to be sprinting balls to the wall, and that demands your body to adapt from head to toe. Just like swimming, all of your extremities adapt. Fingers, shoulders, elbows, everything has to be strong as hell to maintain your form and get a fast time. When I was in track, that was my best shape ever. And also the lifts for track, you have to be strong, so lift heavy and explosively. And no other sport demands you to be more explosive than sprinting or athletics itself, right? That is the pinnacle of athletics. That's literally the sport that's called athletics, track and field athletics. And, that's where they measure your ability, your latent potential. And your body's going to reflect that. So sprinting, look at Noah Lyles. As goofy as that dude is, he's ripped and he's yoked. Michael Norman, Rai Benjamin, like a lot of these guys in the daily life, like if you saw them in real life, they didn't look like sticks. They look like super supreme athletes, and they're muscular. Like they look better than bodybuilders or people who go to the gym who have been lifting for 10 years because sprinting just makes your body that much better, and they lift on top of that. So it's like a blend, but it's really the sprinting that makes you the shredded, explosive, hard, dense muscle. You be around be around college track athletes, and look how good. Like just look at their bodies, and now imagine a professional, different level. Everybody in track looks good, and I'm not talking about field events, guys, but even just track sprinting events up to the 800, up to the 400, okay? 400 meter hurdles, 800 and above is a different thing. I'm going to put that with the distance runners, but 400 and below, everybody has a good physique, beautiful physique, stallions, men and women. So S tier. And if in the everyday life, would you want to look like a big ass football player or a mean athletic sprint machine? Gold medalist. There's your answer. MMA is going to go in the C tier. Honestly, it's going to have to be in the D tier because, guys, we have fat-ass heavyweights. Tua Tuivasa, like, we've seen John Jones, like, John Jones has skill. That's why his physique doesn't hinder him. But, like, if he started MMA with that physique at heavyweight, he'd be trash. So, and he started as a light heavyweight when he looked like a beast. There's too much variety in MMA and even in lighter divisions like Sean O'Malley, garbage ass physique. He's strong, he's athletic, but like it's not aesthetic. It's not something you aspire to look like, and that's why he lost to Marab, who's literally shaped like a beast. Same with Peter Young, like he's a beast. Like there's too much variety in MMA, and it depends on your discipline. Like there's the kickboxer body, there's a wrestling body, there's a judo body. Kayla Harrison, judo body. What else? There's I don't know, there's many more disciplines and the bodies reflect that. There's the power punchers, Derek Lewis, fat ass. Like, if you said, I want to look like an MMA fighter, and you had to, like, draw the lottery on who you would get, imagine looking like, who's the fat heavyweight, the 5'8" heavyweight, or Daniel Cormier. You're cooked, bro. Not prime Daniel Cormier, like, at the end of this career, Daniel Cormier, you would not want to look like him. Even though he still had performance, no, nobody would want to look like him. The infamous sport of, you know what? I'm going to put it at C tier. I'm hating on MMA because, you know, the outliers of the good bring it up, but there's too many bad outliers in MMA. So, yeah, not a chance. Is this badminton? Absolute S tier. I'm just kidding, guys. I'm going to put this at B tier because honestly I don't follow that sport, but if you ever play badminton, it gets intense and you have to be fit if you're going to be playing competitively. Literally like a super fast game of tennis where you're hitting it and then within a second later, boom, they fly to the other side of the court and you got to sprint and hit it back and boom, boom, boom. It's just fast pace, like 3 times faster pace. So it's not going to demand a lot, but it's going to be good. It's going to keep you in shape for sure. But it goes under baseball. And it's under baseball because there's not too much variety in the physiques once you start playing badminton. Like everyone has a similar physique, but it's not like elite or bad. There's consistency. And let's see, this is gymnastics or diving. I think this is gymnastics. I'm going to put this at S tier, but above rugby. And this is why, guys, because so these two sports are above swimming because even the elite swimmers, like Michael Phelps, like I would not want his body too disproportional. The thing about swimmers is the most elite swimmers have really odd looking bodies. They have long ass torsos and shorter legs, right? And that just doesn't look good. Even with like fitted clothes, you look kind of weird. With these guys, you're absolutely jacked, but who wants to really get that jacked unless you go on PEDs? I'm talking about you get muscle, you look shredded as hell, and it's sustainable, and you're not going to be demanding to like put your body through the grind to get to that level and eat a shit ton of food to get to that. So that's why these two sports are up top, because these are really achievable and they're fun to compete in, and it hits both men and women. These two sports are not for men and women, guys. Don't stop with the we're equal. No. Gymnastics women, Simone Biles, Ali Roseman or Raisman, I forgot, from 2016, 2012 team. All the Olympic gymnastic women from all disciplines, especially the all-around gymnasts, there's no flaws to their physique. Literally, you know that term, muscle mommy, literally comes from gymnastics bodies. The BBLs, they're all trying to copy the gymnastics body. They just don't have the performance. And no one's ever said it, but that's really the truth. Look at gymnastics bodies. That's what muscle mommies are. So, and they're kind of close to track and field bodies, but track and field bodies, There's more. It's hard because you can have some really ugly chicks in track and have okay bodies, but you could literally not be chopped. And there's hardly any chopped women in gymnastics at the elite level. So for women, I would say this is better, but for track, overall, man and woman, sprinters specifically, you're gonna look way better. And if you narrow it down to 200 and 100, definitely this sport is gonna get you a better physique than gymnastics. I'm gonna go back to that at the end of the video. I just remembered something. Figure skating, I'm gonna go at the A tier because I actually met a figure skater in college, and normal white chick from the face, and then I saw the lower body and I was like, whoa. So for that reason, definitely ice skater physiques, guys. They're just bottom for women specifically. Never miss. And if you're a guy, you're literally gonna look like what was George Michael, but with figure skater physiques. I mean, just imagine that. That's what I think about when a guy does this sport. You're gonna look good in general. So it's gonna be A. It's cardio, it's balance, it's coordination. If you mess up, you eat ice or get sliced and die. So it demands you to be extremely critical thinker and quick on your feet, literally. So this sport, it definitely goes on A tier. You cannot be a fat ass and do this sport for sure. At the elite level too. Archery, now, this is going to go like, definitely going to go in the E tier with this. If you were actually hunting with a bow, then it would go like, probably up here because you're probably running and tracking an animal, and then all that muscle to pull a bow at a long distance, you'd probably be up here. But for this sport, where you're not even hunting and you're stationary, you're just there taking turns, you're going in the E tier. Yeah, you'll get some back muscle, but like, you're not pulling on giant ass bows. All right, if you play speed of this version, the best you're gonna get is C tier, but this is also going to go in the E tier because any physique can play this game. It's really about coordination and technique, right? Even old ass people can be elite at this. So you got to think about it from this perspective. If you become elite at this sport, what is your body going to reflect? And we've all seen that meme of who am I, or I am him, or whatever, that guy. You've seen that meme. I am that video. Not the most impressive physique, but definitely has coordination and skills. So if that guy can do it, other people with different physiques, with more power, more muscle, or anything, could play this sport really good. And now this one is this lacrosse or hockey? I'm gonna say, I think this is lacrosse. I'm gonna just say this is lacrosse. I'm not too sure. I never played it. But I'm going to go with A tier. If Julian Edelman was a lacrosse player, every guy who's actually played lacrosse, like, those guys are disciplined as hell. Jesse James West, that YouTuber. Like, people who just play lacrosse are just beasts overall. I met a college football player who also played lacrosse. So you got to be a tough as hell to play this sport. It's going to be at least A tier, and it's going to go above. It's going to go here. Now, I'm going to say this is hockey. ST. I've actually never seen an elite hockey player, but for what I'm seeing from those guys, man, they're going to have to go in the A tier. Because, yes, they demand, you have to be fit as hell. Like, your lower body is a beast, but like McKinnon from the Avalanche, like, I've seen some of those hockey players, guys, they don't look that impressive in the face or in the arms or anything. Like, they look husky with dominant lower bodies. And especially like the goalkeeper who's just sitting there the whole time. How athletic do you have to be? You're not skating. So with that variation, with one position that can just sit on its ass the whole game, of course you got to be quick and be coordinated. That brings the level low. And I've met some hockey players in college. They were drinking, they were losing, but they could still play. And that's the thing. If you're gonna play a certain sport like gymnastics, you cannot be drinking. This literally, if you do gymnastics and you're drinking like these fools, you're gonna snap your neck when you do a somersault or anything like that, or you're just gonna black out drunk, face plant on your face, get disqualified, humiliated. You're never on the team again. Very unforgiving sport. These two are unforgiving. One chance, you're done. This. Swimming, it's unforgiving, but it's different. But these, just, they don't compare. You got to be in your tip-top shape for this, and this. That's the difference. Table tennis, man, I've seen a fat dude play this, and he was good. I'm going to put it at B tier just because, if you're elite, you're like quick on your feet, but you're not running all over the place. It's a very small section, so you don't need that crazy amount of agility or speed to cover the area, right? If this was like a tennis court, yeah, no fat asses could be on it, but it's a smaller area to play, so that's going to be there. This is going to go... Now, whenever I see people on this sport, I don't know what they prepare to do to ride these horses, but they always look good. So, guys, drop in the comments, what do these people do that make them look good? And I'm going to put them above MMA, just because I've never seen a chopped, bad physique in this sport. They're not muscular, but they all look good. I may be wrong, but from what I've seen, they all look good. Even in person, like, they're always like rich families, beautiful faces, never fat, good skin. Like, if you do this, by default, you have to have money and treat your body right to even get into this and afford a horse, right? It's expensive as hell. So if you are somebody who is in the sport, you're like bottlenecked down to fit a certain profile, and it's a very beautiful physique or rider. But I don't know. Nikola Jokic's horse rider, he didn't look that impressive. But from the women, I've seen them all do good. Now, I think this is a different sport. I think this is the horse racing, so I'll put that one there. But this one, like the stunts, it's going to go up higher than MMA. This is diving. This is going to go in the A tier because every diving, they're all shredded, lean. We don't really see their, like, athletic performance, but their coordination, like, all of these guys are like I said, rectus femoris, that muscle above the quad that just gives like that sword, like, blade look to your leg. They all have that, all flexible as hell. If you're gonna do this sport and you get good at it, your body's gonna look like really good shape. Like, these guys are all freaking ripped because they have to put it in thousands of reps. Think about this. They dive and they have to climb up all these stairs, basically the Stairmaster, and do it again and do it again. Hundreds of reps. And guys, you don't think about this, but you're burning calories, literally absorbing the impact and, making your body stiff every time you enter the water. So it's like calisthenics, but statics in a very dynamic way. So definitely A tier. Look at Sam Sulek before he did steroids. He looked very good doing this sport. This is softball. Softball is going to go up here. Now, this is tough. I want to place it higher than baseball because all the women who have played softball from college that I've seen, all bad as hell. And in my college, they were like conference champions, so they were all really good. Man, I really want to put it above baseball just because this is like the woman version of baseball. But I never see a bad physique from a softball player. And if it is, it's like a Brock Lesnar daughter, like that yoked, but it's not like fat. And they still look good. So, same sport, but I think it's a smaller field. I don't know, something just about softball really does good to a woman's physique. So, it's going to go above baseball. Oh, this is the horse. You know what? I don't know. It's probably this is the Mexican rodeo type of show. You know what? These people look good, but you're not going to get a crazy ass physique because it's really the horse doing the work. And you know what? we'll reorganize it at the end. This one is going to go into. It's going to go into All right. Just because it's all your personal preference, but if you're going to be elite at this, you're going to look better than most baseball players. So for that reason, I'm going to put it here. And it's going to look better than soccer players. Not better than lacrosse, not better than this. It's tough, but they're overall just yoked. These long distance runners, guys, like they look frail as hell, but they're shredded and they're fit. If you want to talk about fit, this is the sport where you say that person's fit. And if you become good at it and you practice it, yeah, you're not going to be yoked, but you're going to be lean as hell. And if you at least eat a lot of protein, like I don't know what these guys eat, but it looks like they always need protein. But if you are not trying to be that light, but you do the type of work that they do, you're just going to be like a bigger version of these fools, but really lean. Yeah, you're not going to have crazy arms, but your calves, your quads, and your hamstrings, you're going to be like Nick a Bear besides the steroids. So for that reason, definitely going to put it here, but under lacrosse, because with these lacrosse fools, they're thick and they use their arms, and I would not want to scrap these fools just for fun. But I wouldn't back down for sure. But it's tough. All right, back on topic. Sumo. Oh no, this is boxing, guys. Boxing physique. Now this is tough because you can be an Andy Ruiz, Tyson Fury, but you can also look like Anthony Joshua. So boxing is gonna go in the. Oh man. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here because, look, with boxing, it's not really like sex appeal with boxing. You're going to look scary as hell. This sport, and this sport, like tattoos on a basketball player and their physique, like people don't want overly yoked people. They want slim, athletic. That's basketball for the most part. Lacrosse, imagine those dudes, lacrosse players with tattoos. Definitely going to cater to like a more of an attraction. Volleyball, even men. I don't want to glaze the men who do the sport, but they don't look bad at all. But for the woman, it really elevates them. You add a tattoo to the right chick, even more. But if you add tattoos to a boxer, it's kind of gay, to be honest. Like, when I see a boxer that's tough as hell with no tattoos, I'm like, I don't want to mess with that fool. I think like Mike Tyson, before he got the eye tattoo, like, look at his physique, scary as hell. And when you look at the lighter weight guys, like they're all shredded, but they look more scary than aesthetic, if that makes sense. And and sometimes you can't even tell if somebody boxes unless they take their shirt off. Or unless they have like really, bone fists. And I've seen a lot of boxers up close. Like my cousin, he did MMA boxing. Yeah, if everyone looked like him, yeah, scary. But and also not everyone's gonna do boxing. Like guys, I'm also taking into account practicality. This is for that reason. I really got to put it at the end of A tier. Because, yeah, you're going to get really good in shape, but you can still be a fat ass and be a boxer. That's the thing, guys. Like, you cannot be a fat ass here. You cannot be a fat ass here. But you can be a fat ass going here and below. That's the thing. So, by default, it has to go under diving. But you're going to look scary as hell, so it's good. So, it's still A tier, but these are definitely going to get you way more aesthetic results by default, because if you do the sport, like I said, you have to be at a certain baseline to participate at that sport at a competent level. You're not going to be a fat ass doing 360 no scope off the diving board. You're going to lay on your stomach and you're going to have like an immediate sunburn type of damage. Okay, surfing, I'm going to say definitely, man, I've actually seen a surfer in California, and those guys are lean. The thing about surfing is this sport, guys, will get you tan as hell, just like track. But with surfing, think about it, guys. You got to be a swimmer so you don't drown. You got to have coordination like a skateboarder. You're getting a lot of shit ton of vitamin D. You're squatting, coordinating, and you're doing that over and over again for hours. Guys, the thing about surfing is, to have a good time in surfing, you have to do this for hours. Like, you can play 30 minutes of basketball and be like, I'm done. Or one game of 15 minutes, you're done. 1 minute, 2 minute race of track, you're done. 2-3 minute routine, so intense, you're done. Yeah, explosive, and you do that days upon days. You train for hours in these sports, but like, it's taxing, and you don't do that every single day unless you're on PDs. But with surfing, you can do that every single day, and it's not really high intensity. And because you can do so many repetitions upon the whole day, like, imagine you're Paul Saladino living in Costa Rica surfing for 3-4 hours, because the reps take so long to complete. It's a lot of neat cardio. So you're not going to be a fat ass surfing, and you're going to get tan, which is really nice, especially if your skin isn't cooked by then. So overall, you're going to look really good if you're a surfer. The only bad thing is being in the salt water too long. I haven't seen somebody in salt water in person for years, like people who have been exposed to that, because I don't live near the coast, but I hear that the saltwater skin, or like people, you can tell people who are in saltwater a lot. So, I'm not sure, but overall, you're going to get a decent physique here. This is the only one I would interchange with this one, because you get a lot of brain damage from this, and that is not. You'll look dumb. You look like Nate Diaz. Not in his prime, but like now. So, yeah, guys, for this, I'm going to put in B tier because, I mean, anybody can do this. Little kids can do this, adults, and there's different levels, guys. Like, there's a certain level you have to play for all of these sports, but for this, there's different terrains, so you can be a beginner or elite. There's a lot of variety. And injury, like, you can easily get injured. I've done many sports, guys, and the only sport where I really got effed up was snowboarding, which is going to go here. I want to rank these low as hell, but once you get good at these and you do it all day, guys, this is just like surfing, guys. If you want to have a good day of snowboarding or session of snowboarding or skiing, you literally wake up early as hell in the morning to go to the resort, like, and enter at 8 a.m., and you'll leave at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., especially if you're with your friends, like going down the hill, taking different routes. It's a lot of walking, a lot of resting, and then a lot of, like, twisting your body, balancing, getting back up after you eat snow. Man, definitely high injury risk, but because you do it so long, you burn a ton of calories, though. But at least you'll get an athletic or a decent physique from this, for sure, just because you burn so many calories. But it's not too practical, guys, because you literally have to spend hundreds of dollars on gear and the board and the season passes. And if you don't do the season passing, it's too expensive. And if you don't live close to it, like I live near the Rockies, but I'm like 2 hours away. It's not something I wake up and do. Maybe if I lived in Denver, an hour away is like very feasible for me. But driving 2 hours, then driving back 2 hours, like, no. And you're not going to ski or snowboard on your local hill. 2 seconds down, what did you do? Nothing. You got to go down a mountain to actually make it worthwhile. And it's just very niche, guys, and expensive. So that's why it's at the B tier. If we lived next to like a mountain and everyone did, then I would probably put this up here. But it's very high injury, so it'd be at the bottom of the S tier. So this is cycling. I think that's cycling. I'm going to put that at B tier, guys. Like, cyclers are, it's like this sport, guys. But at least you don't get injured like these two. Like, the thing about surfing compared to this, like, these guys just look so dried and sucked up. Like, I would never want to look like these guys. They're going to look shredded as hell, especially in the legs, but it looks disgusting. Like, I do not want to look like Lance Armstrong. Hell no. But at least they're not fat. They're always going to look shredded as hell, but very slim, very dried up. Not impressive. And I can't even tell what the hell that is. But I'm gonna put that here. I'm gonna have to wait 1 second. What is that? Oh wait, this is cycling. What the hell is this, guys? Wait 1 second. Iron Man. Oh guys, I am a fool. Respect to the Ironman guys. You're definitely gonna go at least. You're gonna go here, above the surfing, above the boxing, but below these. Because in Ironman, yes, you do swimming, running, everything, but like, it's really endurance based. And I've seen some ass physiques despite doing Ironmans. Like, Ironmans are, like, there's a point where the volume from Ironmans really just destroys your body and you don't look good. Like, you can tell somebody who does an Ironman because they look fit but deteriorated. That's why I really, man, I got to look at more Ironmans to can be like Nick Diaz, who does MMA, literally has done so many Ironmans with his brother, and look at their physiques. Just ask, bro. I honestly want to put this down here now that I think about it. It's at the top of the average. That just reminds me, yeah. But that goes to show cycling's going to go here. This, guys, this is the only sport where I'm going to say is... okay. Sorry, guys. Wrestling. This is the holy trinity. Gymnastics, track, wrestling. Track is going to get you explosive as hell. This is like, gymnastics is really good at just getting you shredded and strong as hell everywhere. But with wrestling, it's like, you look thick as hell. It's like that. They're super hypertrophied. Wrestling physiques from the, going from 141 to 197 are really impressive. Heavyweights look ass unless you're Gable Steveson, but even then, all wrestlers look like absolute beasts. If you're a wrestler, like I said, 141 and above, you look like a beast. Some 133s guys look good, but still, even 125ers, if they're short and stocky like Nathan Tomasello, really good physique, of course, but yeah, wrestling overall, like, you cannot be a true fat ass if you want to be elite. Yeah, you have Division I fat asses at heavyweight that are just really 197 pounders that couldn't make 197 starter, so they bump them up to heavyweight, and there you go. You're using your eligibility, or your 5 free matches before your red shirt is gone. I've seen some really fat ass heavyweights where I'm like, bro. Colton Schultz, but even Colton Schultz has a lot of muscle under all that fat. But for the most part, wrestlers, like champion wrestlers from 125 to heavyweight, look at Gable Steveson, look at Spencer Lee, Andrew Lears, Jesse Mendez, Mitchell Messenbricks, Levi Haynes, Jordan Burroughs, Kyle Dake, David Taylor, Car Srirachi, Aaron Brooks, who, like, so many. Yanni is the only, like, really elite wrestler guy who doesn't look good as hell because he's more of a scrambler. He's not going to double blast your legs because that takes a lot of muscle and athletic ability, a.k.a. Jordan Burroughs' shredded-ass bodybuilder physique. Depends on the type of wrestler you are, but, like, if you're a freestyle wrestler at an elite level, your body's going to look absolutely insane, a.k.a. Ono, who beat Spencer Lee. So, yeah, guys, wrestling is up there. Mentally, everything about you has to be strong as hell. There are a few flaws. Like, you're not going to have that body of a sprinter. You're going to have a wrestler body. You're not going to look like somebody who can run fast. I think a track person can transition to wrestling easier than a wrestling person can transition to track. So, track gives you more benefits, but at the elite level, I think wrestling is going to give you a way better body. Especially once you get into those middle weights, like 157 to like 197 for sure. And that's what most adult males are at anyway. So wrestling's going to get you there for sure. With all that calisthenics too. This is going to go... I don't even know, guys. You got to be at least fit to like control motorcycles at this level, but I don't. They're covered in gear, so it's gonna be at the top. It's gonna be at this. It's gonna be there. And let's see. What is this? Golf? Yep. Get the hell out of here, Tiger Woods. All these golf fat asses. Everybody who I see on Snapchat or Instagram when I log in, they're all golf fat asses. No disrespect to golf. I don't play it, but maybe because I don't have people to play it with. But who cares? It never interested me. I'm trying to get shredded. It's just to pass time, really. And I'm not that rich to do it unless I truly did not care about anything. But hey, golf, though, I will say, if it was in the most, like, literally most enjoyable sport to just chill and have fun with your friends, S tier SL, because it's very low stress, guys. Right? So that's what I'll say about golf for sure. You can't have a bad time golfing. So, but in terms of getting a good physique, your hips are going to be good as hell. Your forearms maybe, but other than that, I don't expect you to. Because look, guys, I'm not just elite level. Sure, maybe you look like Tiger Woods, but he didn't even look that good. But let's say you're the average practitioner. The average practitioner of somebody who can call themselves a gymnast, absolutely elite body. The average of this sport right here, the average of this sport at like an amateur level, so college and above, even some high school, and for swimming, football, rugby. Like, I'm not going to include basketball for the average because you can have some really fat asses in basketball. They would be at the end of here if we're talking about college and above. But let's say just high school. All of these in high school at least competitive level has really good physiques. Like, just average, you are going to have a bomb-ass physique. But the elite of some of these other sports, the elite of some of these sports down here are not going to make you look like even the average practitioner of these sports. That's why I'm putting basketball at the top of the A tier. I would put it on S tier, but like, it's really about your frame. Like, do you want to look like Victor Wembanyama, or do you want to look like LeBron James, or do you want to look like the guy who got knocked out by Nate Robinson, or do you want to look like Nate Robinson, yoked but short? Like, too much variety in basketball, but they're all fit. That's why I put it at A tier. Don't expect to play basketball and get to be like LeBron James. Now, what is this? We're putting that here. That's just to have fun. And that would be ranked higher if that was the tier list. Rowing, guys. Rowing is extremely underrated as hell. Like, they got rowing machines in the gym for a reason. If you get elite at it, you're going to have a big-ass back. Maybe not the big biceps, but a big-ass back. And some pretty good arms. And a good lower back, because it's a lot of lower back work. It's like doing a lot of light deadlifts. So, for that reason, I'm going to put it like a... That's tough, because the elite rowers, guys, they look pretty freaking good. So, it would have to be better than that. I'll put it right here. Because I'm thinking about the elite and average. Like, the thing about rowing is, from elite and average, you're still putting high intensity effort. Like, the difference between these guys, at the elite level, they're going balls to the wall. But, like, for an average, just regular casual, they're going down to, like, the beginner level hill. So they're burning calories, but it's not like these guys. But if you're doing rowing like this, even at a beginner competition level, you're still going balls to the wall, because that's by default the nature of the sport, and therefore your body's going to have to adapt quick as hell if you want to survive and win. That's the thing. Now, let's go to this. Bro, I know someone who almost drowned from this, so I would not even consider this as a sport to do, because literally your fat ass is sitting in water, and yeah, you're using your arms, so yeah, you're doing this. Good workout, but your legs, no. Once you stand up, it's over. So for that reason, I'm going to put it like at the top of here. Surprisingly, actually that, because I bet you if you play a game of this, you'll at least look okay. But I've seen videos of people play this. They don't look good. So for that reason, I'm actually going to put that, because you're going to be active the whole time. You're going to get more reps in compared to this sport. What is this? Oh, I forgot. I'm going to go do this tomorrow. Bouldering, guys. Bouldering. The thing about bouldering, like, it's going to be an S tier, because the higher you are in this skill set, even if you want to be an amateur, like just an amateur V3, V4 level person, in a gym, I'm not even talking about outside climbing, which is like a different tier. Like the elite of the indoor is like moderate in the outdoor climbing scene. But let's say you're just an indoor climber, and I'm an average indoor climber, guys. Right now I am. And even that gives like me the craziest pumps, sweating my balls off if I'm doing dynos. But even if you're doing like goat walks, or like those ones where you're balancing across the wall, it's a lot of static holds and muscular endurance. If you're climbing every day, guys, you're not going to be a fat ass. And if anything, you're going to put on a lot of muscle on your forearms and your back. You're not going to have a crazy chest, but your body's going to look really good in a certain type of way. So that's why I'm putting S here. It's really a full body sport. And that's the thing that separates it from all of these other sports. Like I would say, like this is a full body. Like starting from here and above, it's full body sport. Here and down, yes, this is like track, but like you're not really using your arms or controlling your neck like a sprinter. So that's why this is down here. But this, like, you're balancing, you're squeezing the hell out of your fingers. Do bouldering, guys. Like, if you want to get to a moderate level of bouldering, your body is not going to look like ass. Like a person who goes to the gym for a year, who doesn't know what the hell they're doing, they can still look trash. But if you just do the basic progressions of bouldering consistently, your body's going to, by default, look a certain way. Now, what the hell is this? I'm not sure what this is, so no disrespect to this sport. Oh yeah, I forgot to move cycling. Put that over here. Put that over there. This is esports? Get out of here. Not even a sport, guys. Technically it is, because it is competition, but nobody wants to look like these fools. Bobsledding. Okay. Some bobsledders, guys, they look fine as hell. Like that track woman, American woman from 2008 who was favored. She's single, like hot as hell, but she never got married. Now she's a crazy single lady in her early 40s. I forgot what her name was. I'll look her up. But she was a dual medalist in track and in bobsledding. So for that reason, I gotta put you up here. Like, you're gonna look good if you do this, because you're literally sprinting to go downhill. Like, it's a lot of power at the start. And if you do something with power, like when you do power of movement, guys, you don't need a lot of reps to look good. Like, it demands a lot of energy output. So your body's under a lot of stress for a short period of time. So it's gonna adapt for that. You're gonna look powerful. And with this, at the elite level, even moderate level, if you wanna do bobsledding and have fun with it and at least be adequate, by default you have to push hard as hell at the start. So you're gonna get it's like in the similar rank. It's like this is like within these type of sports, but it's not like this. And this is personal preference, guys. I would rather look like somebody who does this than look like this or that. Now, this is the tough one, because Kayla Harrison looks like a beast. I'm going to say this is judo. Wait. This is taekwondo. So taekwondo, I put at the bottom of B, because you got to be powerful as hell to do that. A lot of these heavier weights, they don't look good, but they're yoked. So leaving it there. Jiu-jitsu, going to put at C tier. Because like with jiu-jitsu, it's more niche, guys. Oh my god. You know what? I cannot disrespect MMA like that. If MMA has everything. it's going to go below MMA, because with MMA, you have to do more than jiu-jitsu, so your body's going to look good. But if you're average everywhere, you're not going to look that impressive. You might. But with jiu-jitsu, you can literally have fat asses rolling. And for that reason, it's not guaranteed you're going to look good. Yeah, it's cardio, but, like, would you rather look like someone who rides this horse beautiful? Like I said, what does it take to participate in the sport? Whatever it takes to participate in the sport, you have to look a certain way. Therefore, you're going to get that investment, like that result. And with this one, you have to be rich, beautiful, certain type of physique, certain type of look, or you have to make yourself look that way to even do this. That's why it's better than jiu-jitsu. But jiu-jitsu is inferior to this. But this is going to get you a better physique than this, because this is just not practical. It's very niche down. And I've seen some fat asses roll, and there's too many like beginners, guys. That's the thing about jiu-jitsu. Like, when you start off, you can be a fat ass or in really good shape, but jiu-jitsu is not going to transform your body to look good. It's going to get you a certain jiu-jitsu look, but you can get a lot of injuries, stall your progress, and nah. Maybe if this was like wrestling, which is different. But if you're rolling the whole time, you're not even using your legs, just the inside of your legs. But you're not using all of your body, to be honest. You're more technique work. But you'll get a good sweat in, so it's better than nothing. That's why I say it's average. It ain't good. It's average. I'm going to put this at... If this is Greco-Roman wrestling... Nah, this is not. This looks like judo. This is judo. And for judo... Kayla Harrison, Ronda Rousey. Shit, I think you have to put them up here, because to participate in this level of sport. Now, it's crazy I'm moving them up here. It's because I'm not very familiar with the taekwondo type of guys. I don't know if you have to be really good physique to do taekwondo. I know you have to be really good. I mean, most of the people I've met who've done taekwondo have looked good. But I need to learn more about this sport. I'm going to put it at good, though. But for this, if it's judo, guys, it's literally Islam Makhachev. Khabib, but look at Islam Makhachev, Ronda Rousey, Kayla Harrison. Like, it's a lot of, like, grip work. It's like bouldering, but it's tough. It's like bouldering combined with wrestling, combined with, like, skating, because it's literally, like, the balance of feet. Who can make each other trip? It's just like and it's like combat too. So that's like, you're always under fire, you're always in fast twitch. It activates some other muscles that some of these other sports just don't, because it's constant. So I'm gonna put it up here. But no disrespect, it's a good sport. This one, good, because literally you're like a Jedi, and you can do this all day. And you're going to burn a lot of calories. It's a lot of, like, quick feet, explosive work on your feet, explosive work on your dominant arm, balance. Everyone who's done this at an elite level, when I look at them in the Olympics, they all look good, really good. But it ain't going to get you like that, whoa, physique. You're going to look like a prince or a princess if you do this. But for that reason, because it's so niche, guys, it really is your personal preference. Do you want to look like a rower or somebody does this? Personally, I would rather look like elegant sword Jedi than look like a rower, because I already kind of look like a rower. You know, this is not that. I'm switching up, guys, because all of these sports are good. This is like, it just depends on your personal preference in this tier, but these tiers are distinguished. Karate, put it here. Like, I've seen some karate people that just look ass, but my cousin done karate and he looked like a beast. So I don't know, man. I think for the average karate user, you could be really trash or be okay. So I want to put it at C. No, but I just remembered of my college professor advisor who karate squats. I just remembered, man. You're going to get a lot of isometric strength with this. And what would I rather look like? Karate? man, karate is gonna make you look way better than these sports. To be honest, if you're an average practitioner, it's gonna be like tied with this. It depends on what type of like. Do you want the grappler look or the striker look? But you're still gonna look very muscular in a certain type of way. But not like. But you're not gonna look aesthetic because you're gonna have big ass quads like a sumo wrestler in a way. Because that's how my advisor looked. Because he was a black belt in karate. And I was like, very impressive physique, but I would not want to look like that. You're not going to get the upper body from it. With this one, you might. Oh, you probably will because Kayla Harrison, look at that. High jump. So I'm going to put this at like good. If you do high jump, guys, like this is like the lean athletic. I think it would go here because unlike the rowers, you're actually using your legs, and it's a sprint. So yeah, you're not gonna do this all day. I mean, you could do this for hours because it's only one rep with a lot of effort, and then you chill, you rest a few minutes, and you do it again. So you can do this for hours and hours. It's not like sprinting where after like 500 meters of sprints divided by 5 sets, right? By then you're cooked. Because it's a lot of like pounding, but with this it's like dun dun dun, explode, and you can do this again and again. It's a lot of post oxygen. What is that, epoch? It's a lot of epoch when you do high jump. So I'll put it here. Because all the high jumpers, the women too, all the ones who are at least average look bomb as hell, and all the dudes who were at least average looked like they had a certain build to them where I was like they were really tall, had a good frame, and at least they were decent at it. But once you go past that, everyone's body's like, whoa. So for that reason, I gotta do high jump. Like, it's like a selective niche. Like, if someone tells you, oh, you should do high jump, it's because your physique is likely already good to do high jump. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody tells you, oh, you should be a swimmer because you got like a Michael Phelps torso body, then sure. But unlike with swimming, though, you could be a total fat ass when you start swimming. And you might never even get to that good of a shape in swimming. And because anybody could do swimming from fat ass to elite shape. You can go really slow in the pool, right? And call that a session. But with high jump, you can't be a fat ass and jump high. It's gonna be called the low jump, right? So by default, the high jump requires a certain type of physique, a certain level of competence, a certain level of athleticism. And then once you get to the elite levels, then yeah, maybe the elites look somewhere around here. But even then, the elite gold medalists who do high jump, they never look that impressive, but they look way better than the general population and way better than majority of sports. But it's too niche. And nobody's going to really do this. And that's really it, guys. There's more sports. To recap, wrestling. This is the Holy Trinity, guys. Like, these are the S tiers. Shout out to bouldering. Elite boulders, they always look really good. They're very light, too. It just depends. But if you were to choose a sport, like, and you had to do, if you did a season of one sport, these are the 3 sports that will get you an insane level of body. Because wrestling, the thing about these 3 sports, guys, you involve multiple disciplines into that sport, like sprinters or track runners, right, who do fast events. They incorporate weightlifting, they incorporate maybe yoga, Pilates, some calisthenics, but it's mostly sprinting and running, and that's like the most energy demanding movement in your whole body. Sprints, top of it. So nothing can exhaust more energy than a sprint in like per second. That's why this will change your whole body and make you look really good in like fast. But it involves multiple disciplines. But with gymnastics, yeah, there are parts where you sprint, not as much with a track, but you are doing so much upper body work, especially on the male side. This is a picture of a woman, but if you're a male, and you're likely watching this video as a male, you're doing a lot of weights, you're lifting weights, or you're doing calisthenics with weights as well, like weighted pull-ups, straight arm, like arm raises like this, right? But with weights, you're doing a lot of strength work that gives you a lot of muscle in the upper body, and you're doing statics, eccentrics. You're doing concentric. Like gymnastic demands you to do all three phases: statics, eccentrics, and concentrics at an elite level. Like with track, it's never about eccentrics. It's always concentric. Yeah, your muscle has to be strong enough, but you're never there's never a phase where you control the drop. It's all quick, right? So be really elite at the concentric and you'll be fine. But with gymnastic, there's parts, especially on the bars, the rings especially, like there's parts where you have to really slow down and hold it and then lower yourself slow as hell to show your strength, and that's eccentrics. And then you gotta concentrically go back to a different position. So that's why I think gymnastics, between wrestling and gymnastics, is hard, man. Look, I'll say this: wrestlers don't go to gymnastics. Wrestlers don't go into track. But track sprinters can go into wrestling, I would say. However, gymnastics, elite gymnasts, could go to track or to wrestling. I'll say that. And wrestling, that's why I really want to say this is going to, you know what? I made up my mind. This is going to give you the best the best physique of all, the gymnast. Because unlike athletics, where it's like, because if you perform really high at athletics, your body's going to look like the ultimate athletic body, because it is athletics, right? Track, sprints. If you're a decathlete especially, then okay, you can probably compete with the gymnast in terms of physique. But with the gymnast, it's like they have more events than a decathlon, a decathlete. They have like all the bar events, they have the floor events. There's so many, and within those disciplines, you're doing way more mini disciplines within the disciplines, like in the rings, for example. If you're a male gymnast in the rings, you're not just doing like the pulling discipline, you're doing the pushing alongside it and the static holds discipline. And then you're doing the launch and the landing. That's another like mini discipline all in one in the rings routine. And then when you're doing the flips for the gymnasts, you're doing the aerodynamic skill. You're doing the sprinting skill, the launch skill, the handstand skill to like push yourself up after you sprint, and then the landing eccentric phase and coordination. Like it's all of these things combined in gymnast. Like with sprinting, you're literally just doing one leg forward, one leg back, and that's it. And you got to master that. That's really it. Maybe the drive phase and then the transition, but it's just really three. But within gymnastics, it's a lot. With wrestling, though, there's so many different positions, so many scrambles in folk style. But in freestyle, it's really master a few moves and you got it. You score the points. So you don't got to be a freaking beast. You'd have to just develop the most crazy body to be a dominant wrestler. Like, yes, most wrestlers look so good, so beast at the elite level, but they really have a few moves like Sajid Layev, Andrew Lears with the single pick, Jordan Burroughs with his double blast, Mitchell Messenbrick with his single leg or like his sweeps. Like he's like everyone has a certain move in wrestling where once you get good at it, you can be competent at it, and your body's gonna look pretty good at it. But like I said, with gymnastics or anything like that, sure, you can be an elite ring person, but that doesn't guarantee you're gonna be good as hell on the floor. No, if you want to be a gymnast, you have to be competent or amateur / elite at almost everything. And your body's going to look incredible from being so good at everything. And that's why gymnastics reigns supreme over wrestling and track. But I would say, if you want to build your body the best, do these three combined, and it will get you better results than if you were to do all these other sports combined. Because these three cover what? These three cover everything that all these other sports do combined. Even the horse riding because that's a lot of sitting. Well, there's parts where you sit on your ass in wrestling and in gymnastics. So, yeah, guys, that's the tier list.